A very good morning, guys, and welcome to a new YouTube video. In today's YouTube video, we're going to be discussing the major dollar pairs alongside gold. So let's dive straight in. So to begin with, let's discuss the dollar index. Dollar index fell very hard in towards the downside after pretty much a perfect prediction. As you guys know, I was mentioning that we had this 1, 2, 3 fake out on the second high. That was the third touch essentially, and then after that we saw a massive dump in towards the downside. So yeah, pretty much what we were waiting for occurred. We saw that push down, the pullback, and then a further push down. I think we made a tap in towards this supply zone, which I mentioned yesterday on the 15. So yeah, beautiful sell-off in towards the downside. Overall on the daily we are still bullish, however just keep that in mind. Also the 4-hour is still bullish as well. I do and would not be surprised, well, I do expect and would not be surprised if the dollar index were to still push down one more time. We still have this area of demand located over here, or this stronger area of demand located over here. We have this liquidation low, which we need to take out before seeing a full-blown reversal. We have not tapped in towards any areas of demand, and we pretty much just reacted to this clean move. And we didn't have any liquidation, so I would not be surprised if the dollar index were to make one more push in towards the downside. Could also be tomorrow, because we could still pull back higher in towards this area of supply. Well, it's not real supply because it didn't really take out anything except for its own lows, but still we could still see a push higher and then a dump downwards. But I still think that the dollar index does have to push down slightly more before making any upside continuation. So yeah, then Aussie dollar reacted to this area of supply, but then came back up again. At the moment, Aussie dollar is not really that interesting. We have like some supply over here, which reacted to. But yeah, again, we also have supply inside this wick, also inside this buy before the sell. So there's a lot of supply zones, and that makes trading like Aussie dollar in this specific manner pretty tough. Looking at overall what we have over here on the 1 hour, I kind of identified that we have this ascending wedge slash channel, 1, 2, one more push up into towards supply, and then the big sell-off. That is something that I would prefer. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm going to be waiting for from Aussie dollar. Looking at the daily is still bearish. Keep that in mind when trading. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm going to be looking at. The dollar, yeah, so Aussie dollar is bearish. Quickly pointing out premium versus discount. This is pretty much kind of like your bearish leg. Never closed above this high, so that means that we're still bearish. So let's see if we can now see that final continuation in towards the downside. Yeah, so these are the stronger areas of supply, just keep that in mind. So we could still see one more pop up from Aussie dollar. Then euro dollar popped up in towards the upside, exactly as anticipated from this area of daily demand. So yeah, daily demand, daily is bullish. 4-hour was, I think, no, 4-hour was, yeah, 4-hour was bullish now, or 4 hours bullish now, yeah. So what we've seen is a push down, pull back, push down, break of structure over here, break of structure over here. Now this is your area of demand, so I would prefer to see one more sell-off on your dollar before seeing a bigger pump in towards the upside. Come in towards this supply zone or this supply zone, at least take out this liquidation high or this liquidation high, and then for instance see further downside. But for now we are still bullish, so I will be looking for further upside, because I do not believe that this is kind of the reversal that could for instance push euro dollar down further. I still think we need to push up higher on euro dollar before seeing like a full-blown reversal. So yeah, let's see if we can tap in towards this demand and then for instance look for longs. And then pound dollar. Yeah, so pound dollar was a very tough one for myself. You guys know that I mentioned yesterday that I was in a long, and I was targeting approximately 360 pips. Well, you can see that we reached a total amount of 340 pips. So yeah, I am pretty much on fire. The only thing is that I have my stop loss to break even at a certain point in time when I was, what was it, over here, like 118 pips in profit. Then we got that liquidation wick, which screwed me over, and then of course the full-blown push in towards the highs. It is what it is, happens at times, but I did take a gold long, which I will show you shortly. But yeah, looking at this pound dollar overall, looking at the daily, just waiting for higher prices still. Could see one more sell-off in towards downside, just like euro dollar, in towards this area of demand before tapping in towards that higher area of supply. which is also on the daily a nice area of supply. Then Kiwi dollar reversed from this area of demand, which I mentioned yesterday. Let me see. So Kiwi dollar is still bearish on the daily. 4 hour is, yeah, that's the thing. Like same on Aussie dollar, like it's just kind of like this trend where it's pretty hard to get into the market. Like with Kiwi dollar, or let's say Aussie dollar, I really prefer more kind of like a sideways ascending or sideways descending market structure, where you kind of have these obvious areas of demand. It's much easier to get into the market, because with the current market structure, it just goes and goes and goes, and it can be pretty hard sometimes to get into the market properly. This is also something that's kind of inside of myself a little bit more fear, because I just like me, like everyone, I prefer like these big swings, right? Like big push up, big swing down, nice kind of also in your mind or in subconscious, like a fib retracement level. But when you see these kind of markets, it just kind of goes like this, and then it's really hard to get in, because you don't really want to get in on the very first area of demand. But yeah, that's something that I have to work on myself. But looking at Kiwi dollar at the moment, we're reacting very nicely to this area over here, this buy before the sell-off. But yeah, nothing really much to be said. We could still move up higher, because this is a strong area of daily demand. Looking at the weekly though, weekly still needs to come down lower in towards this demand zone over here. So still waiting for further downside on the weekly. On Kiwi dollars, yeah, still expecting for the downside. Then gold was an absolute stunner yesterday. Took buys over 200 pips profit, shared in the signals chat. By the way, we're going to be moving over to Telegram very soon, so stay tuned for that. Looking at gold at the moment, waiting for approximately these prices at 1860. As you can see, we reacted to this 1 hour area of supply, these two wicks over here. And what I'm waiting for at the moment is potentially one more tap up, kind of take out this high or this liquidity wick over here, and then see kind of like the full continuation in towards the downside. That's gold. For the rest, not much to be said. I'll be updating you guys when I see some more interesting opportunities. So yeah, stay tuned for that. So yeah, CAD Swiss, by the way, guys, boom, what a trade this could have been. Wow. This was a massive dump. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning in once again. I wish you all the best, and look at dollar Swiss, by the way. What a beauty. Wish you all a fantastic day, and speak very soon. Thanks, guys.